morning or good afternoon to everyone and to my lecturer, Miss Lulu. So my name is Noorfazrenna Binti and today I will be presenting my study on how English syntax is adapted and transformed in TikTok comments. With the rise of social media, young people increasingly use English in way that differ from standard English, creating new, creative, and expressive forms of communication. So, for the introduction, TikTok is a fast-paced, visually rich platform where short comments, emojis, and trends influence language. So, users often compress grammar and elongate words and use emojis to convey meaning. So this study focused on 5 real TikTok comments to analyze 6 key syntactic components: word order variation, negotiation, tense and aspect, subject-verb agreement, social media influence, and multimodal syntactic trends. So I have collected 5 comments from TikTok, which is the first one is drop your tripod curly, gorgeous, which mean gorgeous, that's surreal, oh period, and 1000 plus plus super agree. So for the word order variation, one notable feature is word order variation. On TikTok, sentence often omit subject or function words. For example, drop your tripod girly, remove the implied you should, but the meaning is clear due context. So this align with research showing that online language is compressed to achieve speed and social effect. For the negotiation and stance taking, negotiation on TikTok often use emojis or tone markers instead of standard grammar. For instance, that's surreal. Use crying and praying emojis to emphasize agreement or emotion rather than formal negative or positive verb. Even comment like all period signal stance, showing strong agreement or emphasize without following standard grammar. So for the verb tense and aspect, TikTok users simplify tense and aspect because the platform prioritize real-time reaction. In That's So Real, the auxiliary verb is omitted. Omitted. Aspectual meaning is also shown through elongation, like in super agree. The E is long. So where extra letters convey emotional intensity or duration. For the subject verb agreement is often relaxed. Comment like gorge, gorggg, have no subject or verb, but meaning is understood from context. Even when verb appear, standard agreement rules may be ignored, such as in that surreal, which omits the apostrophe and auxiliary verb. In multimodal syntax, multimodal feature like emoji, repetition, and numbers play an important syntactic role. So emoji like intensifiers conveying emotion and agreements. In 1000 plus plus super agree comments, the number exaggerate agreement, vowel elongation, and add intensity, and also add sparkles visually in reinforce the stance. So for the key findings from this observation, or from my observation, we can see 5 key pattern, which is compressed syntax, which is omission of function, word, and articles; morphological creativity, which is elongation or letter repetition; stance taking, which is discourse markers like period show agreement; and multimodality, for emojis and symbols convey meaning; and the last one is hyper intensification, which is number and visual symbols exaggerate emotions. So for my discussion, this pattern show that TikTok user intentionally manipulate language to express emotion, identity, and social alignment. The non-standard form are not mistakes. They are strategic, allowing user to connect with peers and follow trends and convey strong emotional meaning efficiently. So for my conclusion, in conclusion, TikTok English demonstrate a unique and adaptive form of communication. So grammar is modified not out of ignorance, but to meet social, emotional, and communicative needs. So emojis, elongated words, hyperbole, and compressed structure all combine into functional, expressive language system. So understanding these patterns can inform both linguistics research and digital literacy education. So highlighting how English continues to evolve in online space. So I think that's all for my project presentation. Thank you to Miss Lulu and to my other friends.